Hello students, how are you all? In last class you learned occurrence and atomic properties of group 15 elements. The today's topic is physical properties of group 15 elements. In that first one, physical state. In the physical state, nitrogen is a gas and remaining all elements are solids. In physical state, nitrogen is gas and remaining all elements what we have? Phosphorus, arsenic, next antimony and bismuth. So all these elements are solids. So nitrogen gas state and remaining all elements are in solid state. Next point. So here nitrogen and phosphorus. Nitrogen and phosphorus are non-metals. Nitrogen phosphorus are non-metal. And the next elements are arsenic and antimony. These two elements are metalloids. These two elements are metalloids. And the last element what we have is bismuth. Bismuth is a metal. Bismuth is metal. So first two elements nitrogen and phosphorus are non-metals and arsenic and antimony are metalloids and bismuth is a metal. Non-metal in the sense any element have ability to gain electrons converting into electronegative ions. So here nitrogen and phosphorus are able to gain electrons and converting into electronegative ions. Suppose you can take nitrogen will take 3 electrons converting into n-3. So you will get n-3. So nitrogen and phosphorus are non-metals. Metal in the sense any element ability to lose electrons converting into electropositive ions. Metals converting into electropositive ions. Non-metal converting into electronegative ions. So bismuth is able to lose electron converting into electropositive ions. So bismuth is a metal. So these arsenic and antimony show the both metallic properties as well as non-metallic properties. So that we have to call them as metalloids. Now while moving from top to bottom, from nitrogen to bismuth, the metallic character is going to get increases. So look at here. I'm moving from here is I'm taking nitrogen, here is a bismuth. So nitrogen to bismuth, metallic character, non-metal converting into metalloid, metalloid converting into metal. So non-metal to metalloid, metalloid to metal in the sense metallic character is going to get increases. So from nitrogen to bismuth, metallic character increases. Metallic character increases. And in addition to that, while moving from nitrogen to bismuth, metallic character increases since non-metallic character is going to get decreases. So non-metal, metalloid, metal. So non-metal nature converting into metallic nature, metallic nature converting into metalloid nature converting into metallic nature. So non-metal to metal in the sense metallic character increases, automatically non-metal character is going to get decreases. From nitrogen to bismuth, non-metallic character decreases. Non-metal character increases. So what is the reason behind it? So here metallic character, non-metal character depends upon the size as well as ionization enthalpies. From nitrogen to bismuth, atomic sizes are increases. Then when the size is more, ionization energy is going to get decreases. Ionization energy decreases, so they are ready to lose electron. So here bismuth is a large size. Size is more. Here is a size is less when compared to the bismuth, size is less. So because of the large size, the ionization energy is very less. They are ready to lose electrons. So they are converting into the positive ions. So here is a small size. Due to small size, instead of losing electrons, they are ready to take electrons. So I am writing this is imagine this is the nitrogen size and I am taking here is a bismuth. So this is the size of bismuth. Simple, I wrote outermost angula. This is a valence shell, imagine. So here is a very large size. Because of large size, to remove this electron required less amount of ionization energy. Here is small size, so that to remove the electron very difficult. So ionization energy is decreases, then metallic character is going to get increases. So size increases or ionization energy decreases, the metallic character is going to get increases. So metallic character and this non-metallic depends upon size as well as ionization enthalpies. Let us write the statement. From nitrogen to bismuth, metallic character increases, metallic character increases, and non-metallic character decreases. Non-metallic character decreases due to it is due to size increases and ionization energy decreases. Ionization energy decreases from nitrogen to bismuth. So this is the reason we have tried why the metallic character increases and why the non-metallic character decreases from nitrogen to bismuth. Simplest answer is metallic character increases from nitrogen to bismuth and non-metallic character decreases from nitrogen to bismuth. This is mainly due to increasing of size and decreasing of ionization energy from nitrogen to bismuth. This is a metallic and metalloid and non-metallic, metalloid and metallic character of these elements. Next, boiling points. Boiling points of 15th group element. So while moving from top to bottom, from nitrogen to bismuth, boiling points are increases. The increasing boiling point of these elements is due to the increasing of atomic size. The size increases, atomic size or molecular size increases due to increasing of size. Van der Waals force increases. Size is more, Van der Waals force is more. As a result, boiling points are going to get increases. That nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, bismuth. So while moving from top to bottom, from nitrogen to bismuth, melting points, this is boiling point. Boiling points increases. So simplest reason I am writing due to. What is the reason why boiling points increases from nitrogen to bismuth? Due to increase in atomic or molecular size, increasing of atomic or molecular size and increase in Van der Waals force. Increase in Van der Waals force. So whenever the Van der Waals force increases, those two particles will attract very strongly. As a result, to separate them, high temperature is required. So boiling points are going to get increases. So simply, what is the statement you have read is from nitrogen to bismuth, the boiling points increases because of increasing of atomic or molecular sizes. As a result, Van der Waals force is increases. This is the third one. Fourth one, melting points. Melting points. So first let the elements what is present in the group 15: nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, bismuth. From nitrogen to arsenic, melting points are increases. From arsenic to antimony, arsenic to bismuth, melting points are decreases. From nitrogen to arsenic, melting points increases. And from arsenic to bismuth, melting points decreases. So there is not a continuous decreasing, not a continuous increasing. So from nitrogen to arsenic, melting points are increases. Then the melting point values arsenic to bismuth is going to get decreases. There is a continuous increasing, continuous decreasing. So what is the reason behind why the melting points increases nitrogen to arsenic and why the melting point decreases from nitrogen to bismuth? Why nitrogen to arsenic melting points are increases And why melting points from arsenic to bismuth are decreases? This is due to availability of only 3 electrons instead of 5 electrons for the bonding. In the case of bismuth, only 3 electrons available for the bonding instead of 5 electrons. So to understand this point, first we have to write electronic configuration of bismuth. I am writing bismuth electron configuration directly. Bismuth, xenon 4f14 5d10 6s2 6p3 6s2 6p3. Even you can take antimony also. You can take antimony electron configuration of krypton 4d10 5s2 5p3. Look at this. Here total number of valence electrons in the valence cell. Total number of valence electrons simply. The total number of valence electrons 2 plus 3 total is equal to 5 valence electrons is there. But in the case of bismuth, only these 3 electrons available for the bonding. Only 3 electrons. This is 6p3. These 3 electrons available for the bonding. These 6s2 electrons are not available for the bonding. So this is due to inert pair effect. Inert pair effect, 6s2 electrons are not involved in the bonding. Inert pair. So these 6s2 electrons not involved in bonding. Only 3 electrons are available for the bonding. So more the number of electrons available for the bonding, stronger will be the bond. So instead of 5 electrons, total number of electrons availability is 5 is there. But among the 5, only 3 is involving. These 2 are not involving. This is due to net pair effect. So because of availability of 3 electrons for the bonding, instead of 5 electrons, their boiling points are their melting points are decreases. Melting points are decreased because of availability of only 3 electrons for the bonding instead of 5 electrons. So simply, while moving from nitrogen to arsenic, melting points are increases. Arsenic to bismuth, melting points are decreases. This is due to availability of only 3 electrons for the bonding instead of 5 electrons. More the number of electrons available, stronger will be the bond. So less electrons available in the sense of bond will become weak. Bond is weak in the sense their melting points will going to get decreases. Write the same statement. So this is due to, from nitrogen to arsenic, melting points increases. From arsenic to bismuth, melting points are decreases due to availability of only 3 electrons for bonding. Only available 3 electrons bonding instead of 5 electrons. Instead of 5 electrons. In the case of this is in the case of antimony and bismuth, especially antimony and bismuth. In these 2 cases, availability of only 3 electrons instead of 5 electrons for the bonding. So this is the melting points of group 15 elements. Next, the 5th one, density. In general, densities are increases from top to bottom because atomic mass increases. So nitrogen to phosphorus atomic mass increases, arsenic to antimony atomic mass increases, and antimony to bismuth atomic mass is going to get increases. So nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, bismuth. So from top to bottom, density increases. This is the reason due to atomic mass increases. Due to increasing of atomic mass, the density increases from nitrogen to bismuth. So this is relating to the density. Next, 6th one is atomicity. Number of atoms per molecule. Atomicity. How many number of atoms is in a single molecule? We have to call it as atomicity. So atomicity in the case of nitrogen is a diatomic gas. It is diatomic. Nitrogen is a diatomic. That means in one molecule 2 atoms is there. 2 nitrogen atoms is there. And remaining elements, especially phosphorus, arsenic, antimony are polyatomic. So they have 4 atoms. So first I am taking phosphorus. Phosphorus is in the form of P4. And next one is arsenic in the form of AS4. And next antimony in the form of Sb4. These are the polyatomic, more than 2 atoms in a molecule. So this polyatomic nothing but this is a tetraatomic. These are tetraatomic molecules. So for molecule 4 atoms is there. So nitrogen is a diatomic and remaining elements phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, these 3 elements are polyatomic, nothing but tetraatomic. So bismuth is a metallic compound. So this is the atomicity of these elements. These are the physical properties of group 15 elements. Physical properties of group 15 elements. In that first one is state, physical state. Nitrogen is gas, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony are solids. Next non-metallic character, metallic character as well as metallic character. From top to bottom, nitrogen, phosphorus are non-metals, arsenic, antimony metalloids, bismuth is a metal. So while moving from top to bottom, metallic character increases, non-metallic character is decreases. Non-metallic character decreases. This is due to the size increases and ionization enthalpy decreases from nitrogen to bismuth. Boiling points, top to bottom boiling points are increases due to atomic mass, atomic and molecular sizes increases, as a result van der Waals force increases. Next melting points. So nitrogen to arsenic melting points are increases, from arsenic to bismuth melting points are decreases. This is availability of only 3 electrons instead of electrons for the bonding, and simply inert fair effect. Then density, from top to bottom densities are increases due to increasing of atomic mass. So atomicity, nitrogen is a diatomic gas, 2 atoms present per molecule. Remaining elements they are phosphorus, arsenic, antimony are polyatomic, nothing but tetraatomic, 4 atoms is there. So P4, AS4, Sb4. And here bismuth is a metallic compound. So these are the physical properties of group 15 elements. Next chemical properties of group 15 elements. In that first one is oxidation state. First one, oxidation state. So first we need to write general electron configuration of 15th group elements. General electronic configuration. General electron configuration of group 15 elements Ns to Np3. Ns to Np3 is the general electron configuration, where N is equal to 2 to 6. N is a principal quantum number, nothing but shell number. So N is equal to 2 to 6. Next, by looking at this electron configuration, what the point we understand is number of valence electrons in the group 15 elements. Valence shell is 2 plus 3. Total number of valence electrons is 5. So 5 valence electrons is involved in the 5 electrons in the valence shell of these group 15 elements. If these 3 electrons involved in the bonding, that may be gaining or losing. So these 3 electrons are involved in the bonding, they can show oxidation state -3 and +3. If 3 electrons involved in the bonding, that may be gaining or losing. Then here is these 2 electrons plus these 3 electrons, total number of electrons, total 5 valence electrons involved in the bonding will get +5 oxidation state. So -3, +3, +5. These are the common oxidation states. Common oxidation states of group 15 elements. So -3, +3, +5 are common oxidation states of group 15 elements. Next we have to look at the stability of this +3, -3, +3 and +5 oxidation state. So stability of this oxidation state. So first I'm taking -3 while moving from nitrogen to bismuth. So while moving from nitrogen to bismuth, the stability of -3 oxidation state is decreases. Stability decreases. So from nitrogen to bismuth, -3 oxidation state. While moving from nitrogen to bismuth, so N-3, P- and so on. While moving from nitrogen to bismuth, -3 stability is going to get decreases. Then what is the reason behind it? This is mainly due to the size increases. Here is this is nitrogen is a non-metal. So this is a non-metal. So non-metal character converting into metalloid character. Already said. So nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, bismuth. These 2 are non-metals. Already we know very well. So bismuth is a metal. Bismuth is a metal. Arsenic, antimony are metalloids. These two are metalloids. By looking at this is a non-metal. Non-metal in the sense they are ready to gain electrons. They can, by gaining, they will show the -3 oxidation state. And metalloids can show the both metallic properties and non-metallic properties. Coming to the metal, so bismuth is a metal. Metal in the sense they are ready to lose electrons. Metals will lose electrons, converting into electropositive ions. Non-metal converting into electronegative ions. Metals converting into electropositive ions. So here bismuth is ready to lose electrons instead of gaining. So but here is -3 in the sense if they want to exhibit -3 oxidation state, they must gain electron. So nitrogen will gain 3 electrons, converting into n-3. So nitrogen is a non-metal. Gaining of electron leads to the -3 oxidation state. But here is bismuth is a metal. Metal in the sense they are ready to loss electrons, converting into electropositive ions. So due to metallic nature, so the stability of -3 oxidation state is going to get decreases. So metallic nature, apart from it, you can take size. So size from nitrogen to bismuth, size is increases. Size increases, their ionization energy is going to get decreases. Ionization enthalpies are decreases. Ionization enthalpy decreases, metallic nature is going to get increases. So simply nitrogen to bismuth, stability of -3 oxidation state is decreases due to increasing of size and due to metallic nature, from increasing of metallic nature from nitrogen to bismuth. So stability decreases from nitrogen to bismuth. Nitrogen to bismuth. Reason I am writing here. So due to size increases and metallic nature increases from nitrogen to bismuth. Metallic nature increase from nitrogen to bismuth. Nothing but ionization energy is going to get decreases. Ionization energy. So ionization is no need to take increases from nitrogen to bismuth. Electronegativity also you can take from nitrogen to bismuth. Electronegativity is going to get decreases. This is more electronegative. More electronegative in the sense they are ready to accept electrons. So electronegativity nitrogen to bismuth, electronegativities are going to get decreases. Nitrogen is more electronegative, so it is ready to take electrons. Bismuth is less electronegative, is ready, unable to take electrons. So by taking the size, by taking metallic character, by taking electronegativity, we can explain the stability of -3 oxidation state. Then +3 oxidation state. +3 and the next one is +5 oxidation state. First I am taking a +3 oxidation state. So while moving from nitrogen to bismuth, the stability of +3 oxidation state increases. Stability increases. So from nitrogen to bismuth, +3 oxidation stability increases. Next +5. Nitrogen to bismuth, +5 oxidation state stability decreases. So for the +3 and +5 case, the reason is the same. We can understand stability of +3 oxidation state and +5 oxidation state together. The reason is same. The simplest reason is due to inert pair effect. What is the inert pair effect? So let us understand what is inert pair effect by taking an example of bismuth. So higher element bismuth, electron configuration of bismuth is xenon 4f14 5d10 6s2 6p3. So this is electron configuration of bismuth. Now look at this at outermost shell. This is the outermost electronic configuration. The total number of electrons available is valence electrons available is 5. So 2 plus 3, total number of valence electrons is 5. But in the case of bismuth, these 6p3 electrons involved in the bonding. These 6p3 electrons involved in the bonding. These 6s2 electrons. These two electrons, nothing but a pair of electrons. This pair of electrons do not involved in the bond formation. So we are calling as a inert pair. Inert pair. Nothing but they are not involved in the bonding. The electrons which do not involved in the bonding, the pair of electrons which do not involved in the bonding, generally we have to refer as inert pair. So because of this inert pair, these two electrons not involved in the bonding. So to exhibit the +5 oxidation state, what is how many number of electrons required? 5 electrons is required. 5 electrons involved in the bonding, they can show the +5. So the plus pi oxygen state shown when the 5 electron, these 3, 2 plus 3, total 5 electrons involved in the bonding, they can show the plus 5 oxygen state. But due to inert pair effect, these 2 electrons are not involved in the bonding. Only availability is 3. So 3 only available, so that plus pi oxygen stability from top to bottom is going to get decreases. So in the case of first element nitrogen, I am taking nitrogen, so 1s2, 2s2, 2p3. Here is total number of valence electrons available is 2 plus that is equal, how many electrons is available? 5 electrons is available. So all these electrons involved in the bond formation, so that you can show the plus pi oxidation state. But while moving from nitrogen to bismuth, only 3 electrons is available. But in the case of nitrogen, 5 electrons are available. In the case of bismuth, only 3 electrons available instead of 5 electrons. As a result, the plus pi stability is going to get to decreases. And the same reason plus 3 is also nitrogen to bismuth, the stability of plus the oxygen state is going to get increases. The same reason due to inert pair effect. So only these 3 these 3 electrons are ready to involve in the bonding. So plus pi stability decreases and plus 3 stability is going to get increases. This is the reason. Simplest reason is due to inert pair effect. Due to inert pair effect. So you can write the statement also. If you want to write the statement due to availability of 3 electrons, availability of 3 electrons instead of 5 electrons. 5 electrons instead of availability of 3 electrons instead of 5 electrons for bonding. Nothing but simplest answer is due to inert pair effect. So this is oxidation states of common oxidation states of group 15 elements. Next, in addition to the common oxidation state, these elements show the other oxidation states also. So first I am writing common oxidation states. Common oxidation state. So what is the common oxidation state? We have -3, +3 and +5. So these are the common oxidation state. In addition to these common oxidation states, group 15 elements show the other oxidation states also. For example, I am taking nitrogen. In the case of nitrogen, first I am taking ammonia. In the case of ammonia, oxidation number of nitrogen is -3. We can take N2H4. Oxidation number of nitrogen is -2. Nitrogen I am taking elemental state N2. Elemental state oxidation number of any element will be taken as 0. Next you can take N2O. Oxidation number of nitrogen is +1. You can take nitric oxide, nitrogen monoxide. Oxidation number is +2. And you can take nitrogen dioxide. Sorry, N2O3. In this case, oxidation number of nitrogen is +3. Next you can take NO2. Oxidation number is +4. You can take N2O5. Oxidation number is +5. Look at this. So what is the common oxidation state of nitrogen? Common oxidation is -3, +3, +5. In addition to the -3, +3, +5, nitrogen is showing -3, -2, 0, +1, +2, +4. In addition to the common oxidation state, these elements can show the other oxidation states also. Example, nitrogen. So nitrogen -3 to +5. These many number of oxidation states are possible for nitrogen. And another important point is the intermediate oxidation states from +1 to +4. The oxidation states from +1 to +4 in acidic medium undergo disproportionation. So undergo disproportionation. Disproportionation. So what is the disproportionation reaction? So disproportionation. First let us take an example for nitrogen. I am taking HNO2. I am taking HNO2. This HNO2 in acidic medium will give HNO3 plus H2O plus ENO. H2O plus ENO. So I am taking this is 3 times. This is you can take 2 times. 2 NO. Then you can balance it. Number of hydrogens is 3. 3 in the sense 2 plus 1, 3. This number of nitrogens 3. Number of nitrogen, how many is there? 2 plus 1, 3, and here is number of oxygen, 3 2 is 6, 3 plus 3 6, so it is balanced equation. Now first we have to write the oxidation number of HNO2. Already you know how to find the oxidation numbers. So HNO2, nitrogen oxidation number, we have to find out. So nitrogen, let it as X, and hydrogen valence hydrogen will be taken as 1. Oxygen is -2, plus -2 into number of oxygens is 2, that is equal, sum of the oxidation numbers is equal to 0. Then 1 plus X minus 4 is equal to 0, X is equal to, you can take as a plus 3. So here is nitrogen showing a plus 3 oxidation number. So here is nitrogen is plus 3 oxidation number. HNO3, what is the oxidation number of nitrogen? So similar way we have to find out. So I'm taking here again HNO3. HNO3. In the case of HNO3, this is the plus 1. Nitrogen is X, plus -2 into how many is there? 3 is equal to 0. Then X 1 plus X minus 6 is equal to 0. X is equal to plus 5. So here nitrogen is oxidation number is plus 5. Here nitric oxide oxidation number is plus 2, isn't it? Then plus 3 to plus 5, oxidation number plus 3 to plus 5. Number is increased. Increasing number is called as oxidation. Oxidation. Here is plus 3. Plus 3 to plus 2. So plus 3 to plus 2 number is decreased. Decrease in number is nothing but what? Reduction. Already you know very well this point. Increase in oxidation number is called oxidation. Decrease in oxidation number is called as a reduction. Now what the point here is, the reactant has oxidation number is plus 3. The reactant has oxidation number is plus 3. One product, this product oxidation number is how much? Plus 5. One product oxidation number is how much? Plus 2. Compare the oxidation number of the products plus 5 and plus 2 with reactant. So we have to compare. This is the reactant, these are the product. So compare the oxidation number of reactants with product. That what is the common element? Nitrogen is there. So nitrogen oxidation number in the case of one product is plus, one product is plus 5, one product is plus 2. Here is plus 3. So from here to 1 plus 2 to plus 3, one number is higher when compared to the reactant oxidation number. One product has a higher oxidation number, and when compared to the reactant, another product has a lower oxidation number. So one reactant giving a product, in those products, one product with a higher oxidation number, one product with a lower oxidation number. Such type of reactions are called as disproportionation reactions. Such type of reactions are called as disproportionation reactions. Here nitrogen undergo disproportionation, so giving one is higher oxidation state. This is the key point. This is higher oxidation state. This is a higher oxidation state. This one is a lower oxidation state. Lower oxidation state when compared to this one. So one product is at a higher oxidation state, one product is at lower oxidation state. When compared to the reactant, we have to call them as a disproportionation. So what is the point here is the intermediate oxidation states of nitrogen, that to plus 1 to plus 4, plus 1 to plus 4 undergo disproportionation. So in addition to the nitrogen, even phosphorus intermediate oxidation states, the intermediate oxidation states of phosphorus also undergo disproportionation. Let us take an example for phosphorus case. I am taking an example for phosphorus. I am taking H3PO3, phosphorus acid. This phosphorus acid converting into H3PO4, phosphoric acid. Phosphorus acid converting into phosphoric acid, and one product is PH3. So this I am taking is H3PO3. This I am taking as 3H3PO4, and product is PH3. Now look at the oxidation number of phosphorus. In this case phosphorus, we can take here is oxidation number is plus 3, and this is the phosphorus acid. In phosphorus acid, oxidation number of phosphorus is plus 3. Now this is the phosphoric acid. Oxidation number of phosphorus is plus 5. So oxidation numbers we have to find a similar way like this. How I calculated HNO3 and HNO2, so similar way we have to follow for H3PO3 and H3PO4. So oxidation number of phosphorus is plus 5. Next here is this is a compound name is phosphine. It is a phosphine. The oxidation number of phosphorus in phosphine is minus 3. So this is the reactant, these are the product. Now compare the oxidation numbers. So plus 3 to plus 5. number is plus 3 to plus B in the sense oxidation number is increased. Increase in oxidation number is called as oxidation. So this is oxidation. So phosphorus is undergoing oxidation, and here is oxidation number of phosphorus is plus 3 to minus 3. So plus 3 to minus 3 number is decreased. Decrease in oxidation number is called as reduction. Decrease in oxidation number is called as reduction. Now phosphorus is undergoing oxidation and phosphorus is undergoing reduction. Both oxidation and reduction takes place in one reaction. In addition to that, one product, this one, plus 5 is higher oxidation state when compared to the plus 3. This is a higher oxidation state. Higher oxidation state. Higher oxidation state or higher oxidation number. One product at higher oxidation state, one product at lower oxidation state. Lower oxidation state when compared to reactant. So when compared to reactant, one product is at higher oxidation state, one product at a lower oxidation state. So this type of reactions are called as a disproportionation reaction. This type of reactions are called as a disproportionation reactions. So nitrogen and phosphorus undergo disproportionation reaction. In the case of nitrogen, the oxidation numbers from all oxidation numbers from plus 1 to plus 4 undergo disproportionation reaction. In the case of phosphorus, the intermediate oxidation numbers undergo disproportionation reactions. Let us read the statement relating to it. In case of nitrogen, all oxidation states from plus 1 to plus 4 tend to disproportionate. In a acidic medium or acidic solution. Next, even phosphorus phosphorus also shows a disproportionation reactions that all intermediate oxidation state. So in case of phosphorus, all intermediate oxidation states tend to disproportionate in acidic and alkali, nothing but base, acidic and alkali medium. So acidic and alkali medium. So this is the disproportionation of nitrogen and phosphorus. Next, covalency. The covalence of nitrogen is 4. The maximum covalence of nitrogen is 4, and other elements have the expanded covalency. What is the meaning of this statement? Let us understand by taking an example. I am taking first nitrogen. Electronic configuration nitrogen is 1s2, 2s2, 2p3. So this is the outermost shell. 2s2, 2p3 is the valence shell of this nitrogen. Then how many number of orbitals present in the valence shell we have to check. So this is one s orbital, only one s orbital. This is only one box, one s orbital, and this is px, py, pz. Px, py, pz. P orbital is px, py, pz. So total we have is 3 p orbitals. These are the 2 p orbital. This is the 2s orbital. So the total number of orbitals is available is 4 orbitals. So one s orbital, 3 p orbitals available for 3 p orbitals available for bonding. So the maximum covalence can be exhibited by the nitrogen is 4. So maximum covalence of nitrogen is 4 because availability of one s orbital and 3 p orbitals. But you can take other elements. For example, I am taking phosphorus. Example purpose, I am taking phosphorus. So write the electron configuration: 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p3. 3p 3, and one more possibility is there 3d 0, no electron is there. So 3d I took 0, these in this no electron is present. So electron configuration possibility is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p3, 3d 0, no electron is there. So how many number of orbitals present in the valence shell? All these are valence shell only, but no electron in the 3d. So here is one s orbital. One s orbital. So number of p orbitals is how many? 3. px, py, pz. So one s orbital, 3 p orbital, and d orbital also is available for the bonding. So in the case of nitrogen, d orbital is not available. No d orbital here. So d orbital is not available. But in the case of other elements, d orbital is available. So availability of this d orbital they can utilize for the bonding. But due to lack of d orbital in the nitrogen, it cannot utilize for the bonding. So that the maximum covalence of nitrogen is 4 only. But other elements can expand their covalency due to availability of d orbital for bonding. Availability of vacant d orbital, no electron is there. So d orbital is no electron, we are taking 0, no electron is present there, vacant d orbital. So due to availability of vacant d orbital, they can expand their covalency. So let us write the statement. What is the statement is the maximum covalency, the maximum covalency of nitrogen is 4 due to availability of 4 orbitals. Availability of 4 orbitals. What are they? 1 s orbital, 3 p orbitals. 4 orbitals, 1 s and 3 p. 3 p orbitals for bonding. For the bonding, only 1 s orbital and 3 orbitals available. As a result, covalency is maximum 4. And the heavier members expand their covalency due to availability of vacant d orbitals. And other members expand their covalency. Expand their covalency due to availability of d orbitals, availability of vacant d orbitals, due to availability of vacant d orbitals. I am writing here vacant d orbital for bonding. Vacant d orbitals for bonding. So this is the reason why the covalence of nitrogen is 4 and the elements are expanded covalence. So this is the oxidation state of group 15 elements.